Hello. Today I'm going to be talking about 7 big mistakes people make on their social media posts. And you might be quite surprised. These are big mistakes that people make all the time, quite unwittingly, but they can really have quite a dramatic effect on the reach of your social media posts. So today I'm going to be running through those, and do stay to the end because the ones at the end are quite surprising and they've really only emerged in the last 12 months due to certain changes in the social media landscape. So again, if you are watching live, please do say hello, give me a thumbs up, join the chat, introduce yourselves and say hello. Okay, right, so who am I? Well, I'm Bex from Social Media Executive, and I'm a social media trainer, consultant, and coach, if you want to use that word. And basically, I help businesses to use social media to meet their business objectives, to make sure it's not a tick box exercise, to make sure you're actually getting real results, real business inquiries, and real sales on your social media. And I also have a membership group called the Social Flock, where we come together as businesses and we write our posts together online on Zoom to give you accountability to get your posts written every week. So again, if you're interested in that, please do let me know, and pop a comment in the comments and I will share the details with you. But let's get started, shall we? So the first big mistake that people are always making on their social media is, you might have heard this one before because I talk about it a lot. And this first mistake is basically putting links in your posts. So let's assume you've written a shiny new blog on your website and you want everybody to see it. Basically, what people tend to do is they then go ahead and pop the link in the body of text in the description of the post. Now, I can tell you now, this doesn't work, because what happens is the social media robots, the algorithms, they're scanning your post before it even goes live. And if you've got a link on there, it knows it. It knows you're trying to take traffic, people away from your social media platform and move them on to your website. They don't like that. You really do have to advertise if you want to pay for that privilege, or what you want to be doing is creating content that I would say 80% is adding value, and then 20%, yes, add a link in by all means, but you've already got an engaged community who are likely to see your posts. Okay. So the second mistake that I see all the time, and it's funny, it's something we don't necessarily think. We're always really busy as businesses, and we just don't think, do we, to go back to our posts and actually see who's commented, see who's responded to your posts. And we don't go back and we don't like those comments. We don't respond to those comments and we don't reply to those comments. Okay. And that's a massive mistake, because basically what happens is those people feel a bit undervalued. If you take the time to write a comment under someone's post and you don't give it a like, they're not likely to keep coming back and commenting on your posts, okay? Because they feel, oh, they didn't even bother reading it, so why should I bother? And actually, those comments are fundamental for the success of your social media. So go back in, give those comments a like and respond. Also, the social media algorithms are watching you. They are knowing that you're basically not responding to comments. But if you are responding to comments, you get more engagement on your posts. You could respond with a question, encourage more comments. Okay, so there's a real opportunity there when people start engaging and commenting on your posts to reward those, both for your potential customer, but also the robots, the algorithms, they like those. Okay, so the third one then, and this is probably one of the biggest mistakes I see, and that is business pages saying what they want to say and get across because gosh, we need to sell something, we need to tell everyone what we're doing. But they're not actually saying what the customer needs to hear. Okay? It's a bit like in your face without realizing what the benefit is. What's the value of that content? So, what you really need to focus on is thinking about what your customer, your potential customer, needs to hear. What value can you provide with them? How are you going to make them achieve their goals, feel better, solve some of their problems? Really think about the needs of your customers rather than the needs of your bottom line. Okay. It's all about building a community on social media. And again, I will put a link. I have another video about how to build a community on social media. So again, if you're not sure, there's a lot more detail in that video. So I will share the link to that as well. Okay, then. So the fourth mistake I see all the time is doing the same type of content over and over again. Okay, it's monotonous. It's not only monotonous for the creator, it's monotonous for your audience. And in actual fact, it's not always the right strategy either. Okay, you get bored of posting the same stuff all the time. Your audience gets a bit bored of seeing the same stuff all the time and switches off. But also, I see this time and time again on Instagram, for example. People are doing reels all the time. That's all they're doing. So some pages are just doing reels after reel after reel after reel, which actually is a great tactic if you want to grow your followers on Instagram, because reels tend to be sent to more people who don't follow you. However, they don't necessarily be sent to your existing followers. So they're spending all this time building up these new followers, but then they're not just doing posts, generic posts that then actually go to the followers that they've just achieved. So again, mixing up your content depending on what platform you're on is vitally important for a number of different reasons. So really do try and do all different types of post and content on your social media. Okay, so basically, the fifth mistake people make is using Canva all the time. So for those of you that don't know, Canva is a great free graphic design tool. Okay, and again, I have a video that I can share with you on how to use Canva if you've never heard of it or used it before. So I'll share that in the chat afterwards. But basically, using Canva is good because it makes your posts look professional. But again, I see so many people creating these beautiful banners of their posts on Canva, beautiful text, beautiful font, and it just looks like a sales post. Okay, there's too much text on there. People just scroll straight past. Yeah, if there's a nice curated banner with text on, if it doesn't grab someone's attention straight away, they're going to scroll straight past because they think you're trying to sell them something, which you probably are. So again, I would not overuse Canva. Use it with caution. Don't use it all the time. Some of the best posts ever, and we do this in the social flock, some of the best posts ever are to just put a photo of your business, your team, whoever, maybe there's someone in your team, yourself, photo of yourself sat at a desk with a client in the warehouse, whatever, photo with the text above. Because ultimately, people want to connect with people. And if they see real people in there, rather than a Canva generated image that's maybe got stock images of some random people, they're much more likely to respond to a real photo. And the algorithms, the robots will share it wider as well because they prefer that type of content. So the sixth biggest mistake I see, and this has come about over the last 12 months, and that is using ChatGPT or whatever AI tool you're using to create your social media posts. Please do not do it. Okay. And the reason I ask you not to do it is because if you go, oh, please write me 10 posts on XYZ. Ultimately, ChatGPT, the other AI tools, they generally use the same type of language, the same type of buzzwords. Other people type in the same types of questions, and the same type of content is very, very similar. It's been generated by AI. It tends to use an overuse of certain emojis for certain buzzwords. It's written in a certain way that is a bit, I wouldn't say robotic because it's quite clever now, but it's got a certain style, okay? And I can tell you now, I recognise them a mile off. If I'm recognising them a mile off, I know the algorithms, the social media algorithms will be recognising ChatGPT posts a mile off, and they will reduce your reach. They want authenticity on there. They want conversations from the heart. They want people connections, okay? So that, don't over-rely on ChatGPT. So the seventh mistake then that people make on social media, this is the one that happens time and time and time again. And basically, that is not being consistent. So sometimes we get really enthusiastic when it comes to our social media. Okay, I've just decided I'm going to get on it on TikTok. So I've been posting videos every day. Now, if I decided to then do a week's worth of consistent posting, and then I get too busy and don't post for 3 weeks, then the algorithms know that, okay? They know that you're not posting consistently, and they will not share that content as widely when you do post content, okay? You get rewarded as a creator if you are consistent. Doesn't matter what platform you're on. If you're consistent, your content will be seen wider. You'll reach more people. But also, if you think about it, if you're not posting consistently, you're not at the forefront of your followers' minds, okay? So let's say I was having a chat at the weekend with my friend, and he needed a divorce lawyer recommended. And I'm like, well, I work with quite a few solicitors and things like that. But the ones that always stick in my mind are the ones that might be posting. So I might go, oof, I know a really, really good solicitor you could speak to, actually, but I can't remember her name. Oh, well, never mind. I saw John, who's another solicitor, posting. He's always on LinkedIn. I'll send you his details. And that's the difference. So you've got to be consistent when it comes to posting on LinkedIn. So hopefully you've enjoyed those 7 tips. Please do give us a thumbs up. If you enjoyed that, I always share lots more social media tips and advice. So please do give us a follow, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. And I will be back sharing lots more tips and advice on social media every week because I am consistent. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.